Hello everybody, welcome back to day 3 nighttime. Now I wanted to cover this nighttime video because there's a few things we're going to do slightly differently that we haven't done before. So we've done nothing at all since leaving the daytime video. It is now technically nighttime, or it would be for you guys if you're on the standard settings. If you're not, then well, you'll have an extra hour if you want an extra hour. However, we're going to pretend it is nighttime. A couple of things I want to cover when I can get down these stairs. Go. Right, now we've made this little bit of a space here, and this is where I suggest you put your storage stuff, because if in the unlikely event a zombie breaks into this area here, then if they decide they want to dig under here, there is a chance they could break the ground underneath your chest, which will unfortunately break your chest. The other thing as well is they can actually damage the chest. I have seen that in the past, whether that's been a bug or whether that's been taken out or not. I'm not really prepared to test that. However, I have seen it before, and I don't want to see it again because that's a lot of stuff that you'll lose. Now, before we start getting into what I want to actually do, there's just something I wanted to comment on. Well, I've had a comment on one of my videos about using storage boxes and stuff like that. There's a lot of things you can do a little bit differently to what I've done. I've done it in a way where I'd feel comfortable about doing, because I like to have all my loot here. There's a lot of stuff. If we go to our chest area again, there's a lot of stuff in here which you're not going to use for quite a while. However, if you follow on what I'm doing, and it'll make a little bit more sense as you go through the later days, you'll realise that some of the things can actually be used a little bit earlier if you want to. However, if you want to make it a little bit easier for yourself, drop stuff. You know, oil, you're not going to use that oil for a while. Paper, you're probably not going to use paper for a while. All these parts, you're not going to use for a while. You know, all these things here, you can just dump and put them in chests, you know, nearby your buildings or whatnot, or whatever you want to do. However, sometimes there are things that you can find that are actually useful that you may drop and realise, actually, I've got use for that now. So I tend to keep everything. It's just an old habit. But thank you very much to Naikan for bringing up the comments that they did bring up. If you want to know what he's asked, then just check out day 3, the comments below, and you'll see what he's commented on in my reply. I will cover more of what I've said to him in a later video, certainly during a daytime video, because the nighttime is not the time for doing it. But he's bring up some really good comments, which I didn't address, so sorry about that, Nai. And hopefully my reply has answered them comments. Now, the one job I want for today, and it'd be good to start it a little bit before the night time of day 3, is I'm actually going to start. Oh, that isn't that there. I'm actually going to start doing a little bit of a mine shaft, because we're going to want to be able to dig during the night without attracting the zombies. Now, at this level, you're less likely to attract the zombies, but if they're on top of you, you will attract them. So I'm going to start digging myself a little bit of a mine shaft. Now, bear in mind, 7 Days to Die does compass the effects of gravity quite well. And if you start to break away a bit too much, you will have collapses in your mine shafts. So I tend to build a little bit more outward. So I'll tend to do like 3 wide, or certainly 2 wide in this case. And I'll build myself walls, because if I want to build a bit of a larger area underneath, walls that are built will be attached to the concrete, and this acts on the bedrock at the bottom. So everything above this will be as strong as the bedrock below it. If I start building outwards to here, like so, without connecting this one here, these 2 blocks here are held by the strength of this block here. And if I put it up here, we might be able to see. Probably not going to collapse. No, it's not going to collapse. Now, if we're outside, I could probably do it a little bit better and have it collapse. But as you can see, if I connect that there, it's now taking the strength from this side and this side here. However, if I remove this 1 block here, it's holding itself up by this here. If I start stacking stuff on top of it, which I could probably do. Let's just get up here, like so. If I don't connect them to there, it's again going to be holding all of this weight here by this here. And to show you what it will do if you have too much on, Now bear in mind, we haven't got enough room here, but say we did and we put it out, after so long it would just collapse like so. And you're left with a massive block of crap and all of your stuff has gone. Just break that down there. So bear that in mind when you do things like mining. You're usually not too bad doing a singular mine shaft. If you want to just dig kind of in a bit of a straight line, you should be fine. You shouldn't have any problems with any collapses, but I tend to dig down to a certain level and then I'll start digging outwards in like a bit of a square, and you start as like a bit of a backup area. Now bear in mind, the zombie system we have now, they can dig down to you, but don't dig yourself a hole like so and expect to survive a horde night with it. Now the other thing I want to point out as well, using blocks like this, you've got a good gauge as to where you're actually digging. Now I'm a bit more of an aesthetics type of person, so I'll tend to enjoy doing things like this, and then I'll put one up in that gap there, which I'll dig out, and then I'll actually put stairs here. Stairs are relatively cheap. We haven't got a workbench, but we can still do some stairs. Oh, if I can type. We can do some wood stairs. I'll just do 10 wood stairs there. Plenty of wood. We've gathered some wood during the day, so we've got no problems with wood. We've got plenty of stone because we're mining here. And then I'll just enter. Now you don't have to necessarily face this way. You can do it from this angle here. If you press your left mouse button, it will rotate it for you. I'll then upgrade this here. And if we get one of our new torches that we have, we don't need our weapon at the moment. I'm just going to pop the torch just here, just for a second, so we can see what I'm on about. Now when you're walking up and down, you're now going to be faced with this front here as you're going up. And I like it, I like that. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say wood, but I would certainly say something like that, which you can upgrade later to a better material. But it also makes it a little bit more accessible to get up and down there, nice and easy. And I'll just continue doing this throughout the night, make myself a nice little bit of a secure area. And I think we need... You don't need the wood block underneath the stairs if you don't want to. You can literally just put the stairs directly on, like so. But remember its orientation from the last time you used it. And then we'll dig another layer down. And you can do this for as much as you want. You don't need to spend the whole night doing it. And it's an easy way to see how far you're doing as well. But as you're going lower down, you're less likely to be hurt by the zombies, which means you're a little bit easier on yourself doing some work. Now, why am I doing a video at night time when I'm just digging? Well, I'm not going to be just digging. I'm just going to dig this out here a little bit to make it so it's nice and level. And a good indication of whether you're going to be heard by zombies is if you keep an ear out, you'll hear them above you. Well, just every now and then. If you can hear them, they can hear you. There are some things in the game at a later stage that we're going to be checking out that will generate noise levels, or heat levels they call them, and we'll concentrate on them when the time comes. The main one being the forge. Now the forge gives you more chance of spawning screamer zombies, and they are a problem. Not a problem for us at the moment because they probably won't appear, but when we start using stuff like forges, they will, and that's when you're going to start having to think about what you're going to be doing. Now, we're relatively safe here. I can continue digging down, and I probably will continue digging down throughout the night. But there's a couple of things I want to talk about. We're now going on to day 4, which you can see above there. Day 4 is when you need to really start thinking about what you're going to do. So, are you going to build yourself a horde base? Are you going to build yourself something in a building that's currently active? Or are you just going to risk having just shoving yourself on top of a roof? All three of them are viable options. The first one, a viable option if you've got extended time. I don't recommend doing the first one, as I haven't recommended in the previous episodes, to do if you're using standard settings, because you're more than likely at the stage of what it's done for me here, you will more than likely be not far off day 7 by now. There's an extra 30 minutes on my daytime. Now that's not necessarily all day time, but that is a longer period for which I could be doing things like gathering stone, gathering wood, You know, I've had more time during the day to do things like that, and I've had more time at night to dig my mine shaft here and put myself in a bit of a safer location. More than likely, you're going to be on day 6 or 7, and you're not going to have time. If you are using the standard settings, please take advice that I've given you throughout and cut short all the things that I've done. You know, don't go for the quest if you've not got one nearby. Don't go for it. Save it. Find yourself a couple of buildings nearby. Dig yourself in them buildings. Get what loot you can. The likelihood is your loot's going to be slightly less as well, because this is a multiplayer server. The loot is slightly higher set by the dedicated server. That allows for multiple users, basically. When this server goes back into action, because at the moment it's locked off for the members who have been playing it, there can be anything up to 6 players on at the same time. 6 players fighting over the very bare minimum loot that you get as a single player is not viable. Now, if you look, we've had, in effect, 2 decent weapons. The 2 AKs that we've got. The hand pistol, yeah, that's nice, you know, it's good. And the shotgun's good, but realistically we've got 1 of each of them. So you're going to probably kit out 3 people there with weapons. That's not including the ammo that we found. The ammo won't spread between 3 of you during the Horde night. And it's not also taking into account the melee weapons we have. We've had 2 hunting knives, I think it is. Certainly had 1 because it's in my backpack now. And we've had 2 of the clubs as well. We've had 1 crossbow. So we've had the bare minimum there. And this is on an increased setting. So you imagine what it's going to be like for a single player on standard settings. It's not going to be quite enough. So bear that in mind. Bear in mind you're going to need just a bare minimum to get you by. Use the air crates to your advantage as a beginner. If you're an intermediate or advanced player, you can start thinking about turning them off. I've left them on because there's so many of us on the server that will be playing that sometimes food just get a bit sparse. And it's just a bit easier to concentrate on the other stuff that we do on the server, like building the bases, building some fantastic stuff that I've seen. Vehicles, you know, getting about and stuff like that. There's loads of stuff that's going to come to this, and I'm going to continue covering this after day 7 so you can have an idea of what it is you're going to build up to. Bear all these things in mind, but especially bear in mind that if you're running out of time, you're not likely to build something that's going to survive Horde night. Bear in mind that, as I said earlier, the physics side of things count. So on a Horde night, they will smash the hell out the bottom of your base if you're up top. They only need to compromise the limit to which something can hold, and it will collapse on you. I generally say if you're going to do a base build on standard settings and you want to get there for the Horde night, build 2 layers. You want to build 2 layers, and then you put yourself on the roof of the second layer. Put a ladder up if you want to, because then some of the zombies will filter to the second layer. I'd knock off the ladder most of the times, build the bottom layer big enough so that they will only smash part of it, but have it where it's got like multiple floors in it. So normally what I do is I'll have an outer and an inner door with 2 walls. The likelihood is they'll smash through one of the doors and they'll smash the inside of the second layer. Usually meaning the outer layer is a bit safer, and usually holding up the top layer that you're stood on. Keep yourself out of the top layer just in case they do get in there. They can sometimes leap over each other. I've seen some crazy stuff. Play it safe. However, in this build, we're going to attempt to build a bit of a base that's more of a single layer, but allows us the ability to attack the zombies and gain experience points. So for that to happen, we need to start thinking about what we're going to build to actually get ourselves a bit of a base that's going to survive. Now, there's a couple of things they've changed since Alpha 17. When you had the wood frame blocks that we've been using here, when we come to upgrade it, it goes to 2 layers. That's going to get smashed up in Horde night. It's not going to survive very long, but we can't upgrade it any further. They used to have it where iron was the next upgrade. They've now changed that, and you're now going to use cobblestone rocks, which is clay soil and small stone. Well, we've been mining. Look at this. We've got tons. So let's put ourselves 100. It's going to take a minute and a half to do. Absolutely no time whatsoever in the grand scheme of things. You're also going to want to build 100 frame blocks at least. That's just for our kind of ground layer. But there's some other things that we want to do to help ourselves actually do some damage to the zombies. I tend to just use the standard wood bars. You can use the centered ones, which just means they're in the middle. There isn't really anything to say which ones you use. I'm going to use these normal ones because you can make them a bit more flush. And I'm going to show you what you can do with them at a low level, basically. They're just wood bars, but they'll allow you to get some experience points during a Horde night. So we're going to be crafting some of them. So we'll make 100 of them as well. Now bear in mind I've done a lot of grinding on wood during the day. Spent at least 4 hours probably a day of the daytime days getting wood. And we're already halfway through, near enough. We've already used a lot of wood in the past. So that's why I say get as much wood as you possibly can. We've also gained ourselves another experience point. Again, back to the point I made about experience points. Put it in what you feel's right. If you want my advice, then you want to look something along the construction perks, general strength perks, or you want to put yourself on the recovery perks. Now since I can't get the next one, which is quick healer, which if you notice is every 20 seconds, that's a third quicker. That was 2/3 quicker, isn't it? So I want to put myself 42. You feel a little better than you used to. Deal 110% headshot damage and have a 10% chance to dismember with fists and machine guns. Not a major thing for us though, because we haven't got a machine gun and we're not going to be fighting with fisticuffs. But let's get it anyway, because that allows us to almost get this here. We need another level of fortitude, which does more headshot damage, which is good for us, but the dismember chance is not really a great thing. That'll be our next one there, because that healing factor there will be very useful for us in the days to come. Now our stamina's a little low. Let's make sure our water's up to date. There we go. We'll just pop up and see if we've got any food available. A little dark here now. And we could pop a torch up there. I probably won't put it that high because I don't like it like that. It's going through the ceiling. Gonna let me put one. There we go. Let's see if we've got any food available. Oh, we've got nothing really there. We've got seeds. We've got some raw meat. But there's nothing really I'm seeing that's going to help us with food. Let's take our raw meat. Let's just hope. Oh, we've still got water doing here, so let's just take that water out. Take some of our wood out. I don't want to use loads of wood, so I just tend to break it down like so. Restack it. Now we can do charred meat or boiled meat. Oh, we can't because we've not got a perk for that, so ignore that. Sorry, that's locked. Boiled meat recipe. So we can do charred meat. Charred meat isn't the best way to cook it, but it's much better than eating it raw. It is. Let's see what it'll do just by cooking one. We'll turn that on. That's going to just continue the water first. We now have absolutely loads of. Stack them all in here. Go. Put the rest of the raw meat there. Right. Let that continue popping down while we head back down here. Now, the lighting up there may attract a zombie, but tends not to because it's pretty secured. I mean, there's a little gap at the bottom where we've not cleared the dirt there, but it shouldn't be a problem. And obviously we're down here anyway making noise. So, as you can see, I have no food now. And my stamina is on 79 out of 106. It's already going to start affecting me, and it's going to affect me tomorrow. It's also going to affect me while I'm doing this as well. Because after a while, I'm going to start eating into that stamina, which means I'm going to have to take a break. Mining isn't a great deal for use, as you can see. We're hardly breaking down there. So I could be doing this for hours. And we're almost done with our builds. So the wood bars take a little bit longer. We've got our wood frames. We've also got our cobblestone rocks. So now when we come to upgrading, which uses 10 rocks, or cobblestone rocks, can we upgrade it again? Oh, no we cannot. We need concrete mix. That's about as high as you're going to get at this level. So all this rock we're now digging out, and the dirt as well, which we can gather by heading back over here and just some more of this out. There we go. Which is why I like to expand a little bit more than what I've done upstairs, because I like all this dirt here to get the soil. clay soil that they call it now. Bear in mind, again, the physics, so if you dig out too big a hole, then you're going to end up with a big problem. Because this here now is held up by this here, which is obviously down to bedrock. So that's fine. This becomes a problem. So if I break away this gap here and this gap here, this could become a problem. It's not going to because of the way we've got it laid out. Because that's actually connected to that there, which reinforces it. And obviously that's against the wall there. Just things to bear in mind when you're doing this, that's all. So, are we set? We're nowhere near set. You've just seen that's took 10 cobblestone rocks to upgrade 1 block. We've effectively got 129 wood frame blocks here. So realistically we need 1,290 if we want to upgrade every wood frame block. We probably won't upgrade all of them, but we're going to definitely upgrade a lot of them. So I'm going to make as many as I possibly can. I'm just going to take all my clay soil. And we've got 35 plus 9. So we've got about, oh no, we'll probably have, I forgot there, 45. We can upgrade 45 blocks. Realistically, that's going to be the ground floor. But we can get some more. Oh, not if I dig the wrong thing. We can get some more here, not a problem. This here as well. Doesn't give you any that, but it gives you sand. Save the sand. We'll be using that for our concrete mix at a later date. I can just go into your chest. No problems. Now, I know I've been stopped talking here, but as you can see, for me, my night time's almost over. You've got another 2 in-game hours, which will not last very long at all. So, we're actually almost done at the night. And we're on to day 4. We haven't really got a massive amount done. But before you know it, you're actually ready to go and start building. You'll also notice we're digging into more coal here. There's down because I keep falling down that. Yep. We've got coal for days now. A good supply of coal, which will be good for us later down the line. And you'll be able to see it a bit more when we put a torch on it. Now what I tend to do, oh, there's our daytime. I'll just dig in here into the wall. Because I don't like all this stone, as I've said. And I'll just put myself a block in there. I'll upgrade it so I can see it properly. Hopefully we can put a torch on. It might not let us because it's... Oh, yeah, it does. There we go. We've got a bit of lighting down here now. Just be careful if you hit here. It can knock that off. But you can see we've got... That's just all normal stuff there. All normal there. It's actually underneath this here where that coal was. Just keep an eye out for the coal. Or any other material. If you get iron, then you've struck gold really at this early stage, because iron can be obviously smelted in our little forge we've got at the Trader Joe's. But don't worry if you don't. Is that another one there? No, it's the wrong one. Yeah, we need one more down. Gonna dig this one more down here. There we go. We're quite a ways off now, so the likelihood of a zombie hearing us, realistically, is pretty slim. So you can choose whether or not you want to level off here or if you want to go deeper down. I'll probably go a little bit deeper down and then I'll start digging outwards, make myself a little room. And then if any of you have played Minecraft, the same technique for Minecraft is very similar to 7 Days to Die, where you strip mine. Okay, so we're on 71 out of 106. Let's see if our food's ready yet. There we go. Oh. Okay, we've got another 2.5 minutes of food there. And as you can see, we're not quite fully for daylight. The zombies will be normal now, however you'll struggle to see them. They could sneak up on you. But we want to go out and get ourselves some food. Now, depending on what you've set your reset for loot, then your stuff could have spawned back by now. If you notice, these ones aren't spawning back. That's because while we're here, we're in the zone, like a capture zone of this stuff here. It won't respawn for us. Now I don't know if that's off the bed or if it's off you directly. I'm not 100% sure on that. That does lose me. Now there's a couple of other things you can do while we're on the surface that we haven't mentioned before. There's these little rocks here. This is just a standard rock, which you can break down, and it just gives you a bit more stone than it would do trying to look for them on the ground. You could do this with your normal little hatchet thing, axe. I forgot what it was called then. You can also do the same. If you look around, you'll find, let's see if we can see any nearby. Ignore these plants for now. You're not going to be able to do anything with them until you've upgraded your cooking abilities. We're by the road here. There's a water tower there that will normally contain water. We're at a house, so I'll probably spend... We've already been in here. Oh yeah, this is one we came to earlier, so there's nothing we can do here. So I'm just trying to find a different little vein thing, but I'm struggling to see one. Let's just see if we can gather one here. Remember, everything in 7 Days to Die can be dug up, so all these here can be dug. Looks like there's normal stone ones around this. There's a balloon thing there. That might be useful for us to look at. Another house here. There's a couple of houses here actually. That's just a stone one, yep. As you can see, we can use this to break that down if we want to. Take a while, but you're still gathering stuff, which is useful. Trash here. And that. Okay. I cannot see one anywhere. To be fair, they're normally everywhere. There's a zombie there. We'll shoot our friendly zombie in the head. Oh, there's a creep crawler there. Terrible aim I have, I do apologise. Normally I use higher settings for my mouse. That's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. Get our bolts back. There we go. That's him down there. Right, we'll just have a quick look here, see if we can find one of these resources. Which I'm still struggling to see. There's half a house there. Another Z there. See what's in this house here. Oh, we got a food pile. Excellent. I'm going to eat that. Now, we'll use that as well. I'm going to regen. There'll be stuff up there as well, but I'm not too worried about that just yet. We'll deal with that during the day edition if we need to. As you can see, our food is low. Oh, he got faster. I missed on that shot. Okay. So if you're struggling to get your weapon out, I'm going to use the shotgun here. There we go. Let's collect our crossbows back. Almost all of them back. If you are struggling though, you can use one of your tools to beat them to death. Absolutely fine with that. I just use the shotgun because I'm lazy. Here we go. One of the resources. There we go. So this is what the lead looks like. You dig that up and you get yourself lead. Similar one for iron is kind of an orangey coloured one. You see one of them and you can just gather it there and you get some copper there. You'll get some stone out of it. But you'll also get majority of the resource. The other thing as well is buy this here. And I think possibly here as well. Let's gravel that. Let's just take care of this zombie so we can talk. Go. Deals with you. Oh, don't want to do that. If we dig this out here quickly. Now, below it, there you go, is a vein. Around there. It's the same for all the resources. So this, it'll be a vein running right the way down. It'll spread off in different directions sometimes. But if you want a resource, find one on the surface and dig underneath it. And you get yourself plenty of resource. You don't need lead at this stage. Like I commented earlier about the comment that I received, lead isn't useful at this stage. It will be useful quite shortly for us. However, if you're using the normal settings, possibly not. Now, what we can do since we're out here already is we can have a gather of some resources, get some more food. I'm going to check out this little building here. Okay, let's have a look what's in here, shall we? We're low on our stamina. There's another Z. What we can do, because they've not spotted us just yet, we'll get our crossbow back out. We'll replace this with our club, like so. Go into sneak mode. Aim for the head. Try again, aim for the head. And we took him out. Possibly more than one zombie, so make sure you keep an eye out. Might be one above there. More than likely be one above there, I'd imagine. There you go. Let him drop down. Since I'm being lazy, I'm just going to use my shotgun. Make sure there's no other zombie up there. And we've got a passing gas, I think it's called. Yeah, passing gas. I'll break you. And we'll get some car parts. Repair kits, look at that. And some bicycle handlebars. Useful for later. We'll just check out the trash. You can normally get gas out of the gas barrels. Nothing there. More trash. We're not getting lucky with the food today. Just make sure there's nothing up there. Oh, there you go. Might be able to see if I break this here. Oh, I got the icon then. I can get it back. I think if you break it, it does drop. Oh, it doesn't. It just sticks up there. Stone sledgehammer and empty can. Well, it's useful. Not the greatest thing in the world, but they are pretty decent. I enjoy the sledgehammers. I use them instead of the clubs. So, not a great lot. Let's check out the sedan. That's too far gone. Right, now, we're getting overheated here. It's probably because of the clothing we're wearing. A lot of the clothing we're wearing is cold resistance, but very low heat resistance. Change that. Have any resistance. Then obviously that's unlimited. That's got more heat resistance than the rest of the stuff. Change that. You can look for clothing that has a higher heat resistance. I believe the stuff you start off with, the plant fiber stuff, actually has decent heat resistance. This is more cold weather gear that we're wearing, but not a major problem at this present moment. I'm not too worried. It just means that your stamina doesn't last as long and you eat into your water supply a lot quicker. But we've got plenty of water, so we don't need to worry about that. Right, so the night's over. So this is where I'm going to leave this video here because we're going to move into the daytime. We've prepped, like I mentioned, got cobblestone rocks. We need to get some more clay soil really to continue what we're doing. We've just gathered a few bits and bobs while we're out. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to return back to the base, drop off the stuff we don't need. Oh, and looks like the weather's turning as well. Let's have a look and see what this bad boy does now, shall we? Oh, I missed you. Just wait for your stamina to go up. There we go. Undertakers. We've actually got an ability from one of our books that allows us to get the coffins and get precious stuff out of them. Just wondering. What? Let's use a proper tool, shall we? While we're here, we may as well. I'll leave. We'll do this quickly. I'll have a look what's in here, and then we'll head back. Right now, there's definitely going to be a zombie. Do anything. More ammo. Uh-oh. Oh, supposed to shoot twice. So if you notice, it gives us stuff. Could have probably left that coffin up. Some more clobber. Have a coffin. Get loads of stuff out of this. We're over encumbered again. Don't need any of this, but we'll take it anyway. As I say, I'm greedy. I'll show you these last couple here. Go. Hello. Bye bye. Medical pile. That's a lot of me. Vitamins are half useful, I guess. Not really much else for us here. Right, so. Always check behind the pictures. Jar of honey. The only thing we got useful out of this, really. When we get poisoned. Uh-oh. Right, so. As I say, don't need to take a lot of stuff if you don't want to. I'm greedy, so I'm going to take it all. I'm making my way back now. We could clear more of that out. There's another layer there. You know, get some more food there. But I'm going to concentrate on getting food in the daytime because there's some other stuff that I want to do. We've got the stuff we needed through the night time, so that's what we're going to move on to. But thank you very much for checking out this video. Hopefully you're enjoying it. Hopefully it's giving you a bit of an idea that we're actually going towards something now rather than doing the same thing over and over again. The first couple of days are very slow. Now we're going to run out of time very, very fast. So we need to start concentrating on what we want to do. I'm going to show you the approach that I'm going to do, and then I'm going to show you a very quick way of surviving if you do run out of time, or if you enjoy scavenging a little bit more than what we've done here or what I suggest. So, oh, there's an iron one that we'd walked past. So the exact same thing for the iron one there. Here's your iron. Surprising that, isn't it? So, thank you very much everybody for checking out this episode. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Leave any comments in the comment section below. As you've seen, I will try and get back to you. If I don't clear it enough, or if I feel like it's a comment that everybody should know, then I will make a comment of it on my videos. I apologise if I miss any comments over the next few episodes. I'm going to try and bring these out as quick as I can, just so it makes it a little bit easier during Alpha 18 for anybody who is just started. And there's been a bit of a boom from players joining now, or returning after 17, because 17 wasn't as good. So I do apologise if I don't get it out in time. Well, thank you very much, and hopefully you've enjoyed it. Hit that thumbs up if you have done, and subscribe if you'd like to see more from me. Until next time, everybody, take care for now. Bye bye.